Not all meters are useful for getting accurate measurements of low levels of magnetic fields, and you probably won't be surprised to hear that more expensive meters are better. Here we will compare two different meters for measuring magnetic field. The one on the left is the Trifield meter. It can provide 3-axis measurements of each of the 3 kinds of EMF: magnetic fields, electric fields, and radio waves. It's not a calibrated meter, but it seems to claim to do it all, and for a cost of only about $120. The one on the right is the MDEC Snap made by Intertech. Intertech are professional EMF engineering consultants. Their meter does 3-axis magnetic field measurements only. It is professionally calibrated and costs about $400. As you can imagine, there's a significant difference between these two meters, and that difference is accuracy. So let's take a measurement. This air filter produces a relatively uniform magnetic field over enough space that we can take basically the same measurement with the meters side by side for comparison. When I take the measurement here in a second, I'll move the meters around so you can see that the two different measurements are not highly dependent on location. So first, let's turn on the Trifield. We'll check the battery. The battery's good. Here we have it set to measure magnetic field. This will be in the top measurement range here. It'll measure up to 100 milligauss at the far end. And now we'll turn on the MDEC Snap. Its battery is good. Now let's turn on the air filter. So what you see is the Trifield meter is measuring over 100 milligauss, while the MDEC Snap is only at about 3. And if I move them around here, you'll see that we can get the MDEC Snap to go maybe 6 or 7, but the Trifield meter is completely pegged. So as you can see, the accuracy of the Trifield is just not useful for precise measurements. Now let's go look at a sauna for comparison. We're going to turn this one on. This is a very typical kind of sauna. This is all carbon heaters. They're fairly high magnetic field. You can see here we're measuring at about 0.8 or about 1 milligauss. And as we move into the sauna, here we are just over the bench at 19 milligauss. Now, the place where you're going to get your highest EMF exposure in a sauna is the backrest. The cells in the body that respond most to EMF are cardiac and neuron cells, so your backrest is what's going to expose your heart and your brain to the most EMF. So let's look at the closest point that you might see on this. And we're at 115, 111 milligauss there. It can be even as high as 125. If we move over here, now we're at 60, 57. These are very high magnetic fields. Now let's go look at the High-Tech Health Transcend TR2 sauna. All right, we'll turn on. Heaters are now on. All right, and again, we will look at the backrest. Here we are at 0.5 milligauss, 0.3. Let's look at this part here, 0.4. Keep in mind now the ambient background was only about 0.2 or 0.3, so most of what we're seeing right now would be on whether the heater was would be present whether the heater was on or not. 0.2, 0.4. So as you can see, there's virtually no magnetic field here.